My dreams are nightmares. How can I sleep? You got the gun against me.
What's going on, everybody? KingofDragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Storm Collectibles Ringside exclusive Hulk Rules Hulk Hogan. And so here we have the Storm Collectibles Hulk Hogan posing out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually take a look at what he comes with. Hulk Hogan does come with two different head sculpts. He does come with the neutral expression that he has on him right now. And then he also does come with a yelling expression. Hulk Hogan also does come with two pairs of hands. We get a pair of fists. And then we get a pair of grip hands. We also get the Hulk Hogan Hulk Rules t-shirt. That looks really nice on the figure. We do get a crucifix, which can go on the figure's neck. And then we also do get a Hulk Rules display base, which I'm really surprised because Storm Collectibles doesn't normally give us display bases like this. His last accessory is a Hulkamania Bandana, which does look nice on the figure's head. Other than that, Hulk Hogan doesn't come with anything else, which is a little bit disappointing because I really would have loved to see him with more stylish hands, because fists and grip hands, they're not really Hulk Hogan's thing. But anyway, with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get a closer look at Hulk Hogan. And so here we have a closer look at Hulk Hogan. And did Storm Collectibles nail the likeness on this figure, or did they nail the likeness on this figure? This is, of course, the early days of Hulk Hogan. You can tell because he still has a generous head of hair, which, of course, he did lose that as time went on. And I really do like the face sculpt on this figure, and that's a really good likeness to the Hulkster, especially back in the 80s. And was it the 80s, or late 70s? I'm pretty sure it was. They captured his blue eyes wonderfully. The mustache looks great. He is wearing a Hulk Rules headband right there, which that unfortunately is not removable. You do get a bandana which does slide over his head, which I think the Hulk Rules is probably the better look for this figure. But Storm has done a really good job. Now you might notice that there is some discoloration right here on my figure, and unfortunately, like with Mike Tyson and earlier Storm figures, they didn't figure out this rubber piece just yet, because it's actually rubbed from the harder plastic onto the softer plastic. Now it's not that noticeable under normal lighting, but you can see it is a little bit smoothed out on mine, and it does reflect the light. If you've been moving it around a lot, you're probably going to have that issue, but if you just have them in the package, it's not that big of a deal. Taking a look at the Hulkster's physique, I think Storm Collectibles has nailed Hulk Hogan, especially in his prime. The late 70s, early 80s, this is that particular Hulk Hogan, and like I said, Storm Collectibles nailed it perfectly. Everything about this figure looks like Hulk Hogan looked back in the day, especially his 24-inch pythons, which look really nice. I am really glad that they did emphasize his arms, because that's what Hulk Hogan was about. You can see he is wearing white wrist tape, which I do like that. And something I wasn't expecting is that the wrist tape is actually sculpted and a separate piece. That's actually surprising to me, because at first it looks like it's part of the sculpt, but no. The wristband, or wrist tape I should say, is its own separate piece. So you can see it does move up and down if you want to, or you can remove it entirely. It's really up to you. I do like the detailing they did on his hands. That looks really nice. Taking a look at his trunks here, you can see Hulk Hogan is wearing the traditional Hulkamania yellow trunks, which it does look nice on this figure. He has really muscular legs because Hulk Hogan was pretty built back in the day. And I feel like I've said back in the day several times, but he actually was. And it was back in the day, because he's not the same Hulk Hogan. Really do like his knee pads. They actually sculpted two different knee pads. They could have easily just mirrored the sculpt, but no, the sculpt on the knee pads is unique to each other. So the right knee pad looks completely different from the left knee pad. Having a look at his boots, I love the fact that they gave him some gloss on his boots. Hulk Hogan had glossy boots, especially back in the 80s, and Storm Collectibles has nailed it with the glossy boots. Yellow or white laces to complete the look of the Hulkster here. Now, if I have one complaint about it, it's the soles of his boots. Unfortunately, the soles of Hulk Hogan's boots were white. The soles on here, they're yellow, and that's probably the only nitpick I have about this figure is that he has yellow soles. Now, normally I don't worry about the soles of a figure. It really doesn't matter, but this is Hulk Hogan we're talking about, and I really would have liked this to be the perfect thing. Now, it's not that hard to just go in with white and just paint the soles, but it's just something to point out that the soles on his boots are not white, and that is just a little bit disappointing. So, with his details out of the way, guys, let's actually get him posed compared to other figures you may have in your collection. Here we have Hulk Hogan posed next to a Marvel Legends, Cyclops, and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Hulk Hogan posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Hulk Hogan posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. Here we do have Hulk Hogan posed next to a Jushin Thunder Liger from Storm Collectibles, who is absolutely too tall, and a Mattel Andre the Giant. And for our final comparison, here we have the Storm Collectibles Hulk Hogan posed next to the Mattel Hulk Hogan. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually run through Hulk Hogan's articulation really fast. Hulk Hogan does have a lot of articulation because he is from Storm Collectibles. We do have a ball joint at the neck, which does let him look up and down. He can tilt his head side to side, does turn left and right. Although, like I said, do be careful because it will rub up against the soft plastic for his torso here. So that is one thing I do have to advise, is don't be moving that around too forcefully. Be aware of it. He does have a ball joint going from the neck, or from the head into the torso, so that does move side to side really well. He can look up about that far. He can look down about that far, so I really do like that. We do have a ball socket going into the torso, so that does move all the way around. Really good movement there. Pivots up, pivots down, goes back, goes forward. Really nice movement there. Does hinge out to the side really well. I do like that. Swivels all the way around. No problem there. We do have bicep swivel, which is a little bit tight on mine. Let's see on this side. Yeah, it's just this side is a little bit tight, but you can get them in really Hulk Hogan-esque poses, so I do like that. We do have double bend at the elbow, giving us more than 90 degrees, so I do like that. We have our traditional swivel hinge swivel right here at the wrist, so it does move forward and back, and you can rotate that for up and down movement. We have another ball joint right here in the torso, which does go all the way around. I do like that. Goes back, goes forward, goes to the side, goes to the other side, rotates nicely. We do have a second ball joint down here at the waist, which goes back only to about that far, comes forward about there, and with both joints, he's not the most posable figure in the world, but Hulk Hogan never was, so I guess I can let it slide. Now, he is using the old Storm Collectibles ball hips that we've seen in the past. It's not the newer hinged joints, so they do go out to the side. They go forward, so he can drop the leg drop. They go back, swivel up at the thigh, double bend at the knee, although that's all we're going to get out of Hulk Hogan, unfortunately. No boot cut swivel, but we do have a hinge in the ankle, which goes forward and back really nicely. And it is on a ball joint, so you can pop that out if you really want to. And he does pivot to the side, to the other side, rotates because he is on that ball joint, and we do get some nice movement. And then we also do get decent toe hinge, not the best. So overall, the Hulk Rules Hulk Hogan from Storm Collectibles is a really nice figure. So what we're going to do now is get him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the Storm Collectibles Ringside exclusive Hulk Rules Hulkamania posed for my final thoughts. And overall, I really do like the way this figure came out. Storm Collectibles has done a fantastic job with Hulk Hogan. Having this figure in hand makes me really regret not picking up the Hollywood Hogan variation that they did have a couple years back. Unfortunately, it is an expensive figure now, and this figure is probably one that you need to have in your collection. If you're a wrestling fan or a Hulk Hogan fan, I really do think you need the traditional yellow and red Hulk Hogan in your collection now. They can't use Hulkamania, so they did choose to go with Hulk Rules, but that's still a really nice looking shirt. Unfortunately, It isn't terrible, so don't try ripping it because it will not go back to the way it was. If I have one criticism about this figure, and it's probably my main criticism, it's that we do not get enough hands for Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan was a really expressive wrestler, and the fact that we only get fists and grip hands is a travesty. I would have liked to see some flat palms so he could do the shot put, some pointing finger hands. Just a little more hands would have been nice for Hulk Hogan here. Other than that, I still think this is a really nice figure to own. And if you do want to pick this figure up, I believe he's still available on Ringside Collectibles. Now, if I am correct, this figure was limited to 3,000 pieces. So if you are on the fence about getting it, my advice to you is to pick it up before it sells out. Because once it sells out, there will not be any more Hulk Hogans made by Storm Collectibles. So if you are on the fence about getting one and you're a Hulk Hogan fan, be my guest and pick it up. He will run you about $80, which is a pretty steep price to pay, but that's about average for a Storm Collectibles figure. And being an exclusive figure doesn't hurt either. So with that being said, guys, I'm King of Dragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other WWE and Storm Collectible videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it fits in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.